Welcome to my Atlas Sidewalk Sale Galen Leather haul, which is a sentence that I did not think I'd be saying, but this video is going to be in two parts, but both parts are going to be part of the same video, so stick with me. I'm filming this part on vacation because I want to use these leather goods, but I also know that Galen Leather products break in, and so I sort of want to film a 1 month update. So we're going to look at them now, and then we're going to look at them again when I'm back in the studio in September. Both parts of the video are going to be part of this video, but I want you to see them when they're brand new, and then I want you to see them once I've worn them in a bit. So we're going to take a look at everything I got. Some of it has been provided by Galen Leather, some of it I purchased, and we're going to look at everything because it was super fun to pick out some stuff. And it was also super cool to get something that I've been wanting for a very long time that was out of stock on Atlas. And technically didn't look like Galen Leather had it in stock either. So let's get into this. All right, first up we have the nib rest. Now, you've probably seen the brass version of this. This is not the brass version. This is the wooden version. I really like this. It's got the little plaque on it and everything. It is super cute, and it is for holding a fountain pen on it. So let's ditch all these boxes. Where's a pen? There's a pen. And it's so that your pens stay put on your desk and look really pretty. I really like this. I have been wanting one for a while, and it looked like it was out of stock at Atlas. And it didn't look like Galen had brought any. And then all of a sudden I turned around and there was a single box sitting on the shelf. But it just said the nib rest on it. And so I had no idea if it was the brass one or the wooden one. Really, I'm realizing now that if I'd looked right here, it did say solid wood. It was in the moment and I did not look that closely. So I ended up getting the last one they had in the wood. I don't even know if they had any of the brass one. I did not want the brass one. I wanted the wood one, and I'm really happy that I got it. I think it's super cute. I think it's a great way to hold pens. Galen does do a couple different pen rests, but there's just something about this one that I'm absolutely obsessed with. And I did end up purchasing this. Everything else in this haul, Galen did gift to me. We had been going back and forth about a video featuring their products, and I had sent an email asking if I could just pick up stuff in person at Chicago so that I could see all the colors in person. That being said, I did just pick up the same two colors that I already had, which is sort of surprising and sort of not surprising, but I decided to stick with the colors of Galen Leather that I was already using, though honeycomb did almost sway me to add a fourth color of leather to my collection. So, the lovely pen rest, I absolutely adore it. And it has little sticky feet on the bottom so that it can't slide anywhere, which I think is genius. Next up we have one of their brass multi-purpose tools. Now, I can't find this exact one on their website. They have many different versions of it, but I can't find this one. So I don't know if that means it's brand new and it has yet to come out yet, or if it's old and they're slowly phasing it out. But I couldn't find this tool on their website, and I really like it though. It's super fun. It's got sort of everything that I want. It's got circles, it's got a protractor, and it's got a ruler that won't shed its numbers onto my page like my current ruler does. I also like that it's both inches and centimeters, but not on the same edge. With the brain injury, I sometimes forget which scale to measure with I'm using, and so halfway through a piece I'll change and then I'll have to go back and remeasure. So I like that each side uses a different measurement. And I also really like that they have notches at every inch marker and at the 1/4 inch marker over here, so that you can make a dot without moving the ruler. And then if you move the ruler, you can just line up the dots. I think that's genius. So I was very happy when they offered me one of these. I think this will be super fun in videos going forward, and I'm also excited to just like use it on every project that I do from now on. I also like that the rulers are brass. I believe they call this the brass combination tool because it's heavy. Like, it's got some weight to it, and I think it's super great. So we're gonna have some fun with this. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but we're gonna have fun with it. And I think that's the best part. Next up, we have the slip and zip case from Galen Leather. Now, this is in Crazy Horse Navy, which is a color that I have from Galen. This was not on my list of somehow this was not on my radar of products from them. I knew about the pen case, the zippered 10 pen, 14 Kaweco, and 20 pen cases, as well as I think they've got like a 40 pen binder case. I knew about their totes. Somehow I missed the memo on this. And I feel guilty that I missed the memo on this because this is super cool. So this is, if I can get the little paper thing off of it. This is a little zipper case. It fits, I believe they said it fits a regular travel size insert. It does not fit the notebooks full, but it fits an insert, so you can carry a spare insert. And it fits 4 fountain pens on the same type of card, and they sell spare cards, so you don't have to use the same type of card that you've got in the sleeve, which also I think is genius because they have so many colors. So you could get a neutral pouch and you could get a fun colored card, or you could get a fun colored pouch and you could get a neutral color card or a neutral color spare card for storing your pens so that their background is plain for photographing them, but the pouch they're stored in is bright and colorful. So I got the same blue that I've already got in this lovely traveler's notebook from Galen. Now, you'll notice that the notebook seems darker. That's because I have already conditioned this notebook. It needed a bit of TLC, and so I have conditioned it and also been using it for about a month. So we are filming this video now because I want to start using this pen pouch. And to do that, I feel like I need to show you the before. So this is the before I've started using it. We are going to slip in, I don't have a full-size traveler's insert, so we're going to slip in a passport. That's how a passport looks in it. So I think for sure a full-size traveler's insert would fit. I think this is a great product, and I feel sort of guilty that I was sleeping on it until the lovely people at Galen Leather, I picked out this lovely thing in this box, and he went, pick out something else, and I went, I don't know what else. And so he took me through everything, and then he pulled out one of these and went, what about one of these? Like, I think based on what you've said, like this is what you need. And he's right. Like, I am always carrying around pens. I'm always carrying around an insert, and I think this also will fit in my tiny handbag. Because my handbag isn't that big across the bottom. My handbag is all of 10 inches across the bottom. And so let's measure. There's 6. It's less than 9 inches across. So this lovely thing will fit in the bottom of my purse and can hold a traveler's insert and 4 pens, which means my pens are no longer just going to be floating about my bag. So that's excellent. Because the one thing I wanted that they didn't seem to have was the Kaweco zip EDC pouches. That was the one thing that was on my list that I couldn't find from Galen. They had the bigger ones, but they didn't have the little ones. So someday. For now though, this is excellent. I quite love it. And this is how it looks before I've used it. What I do like about the Crazy Horse leather is it does get that like worn in, where it bends, it makes these weird patterns. You can even see here like where it's gotten bent and where it's gotten scratched this past month. I will say that the gray one that I'm about to show you looks way more beat up this month, but I'm very excited to see how this ages and patinas. There is something about natural leather, and I also love that it's stamped because the Traveler's notebooks have absolutely no branding on them. But I like that these all have some form of branding on them. Finally, we have the thing that I was very sure I wanted, but luckily Lip Gloss and Lattes, the lovely Lexi, was there on Wednesday when we got to the store, and so we spent about an hour and a half hanging out with Lexi and playing with inks and pens in the shop. And I asked her if she had one of these cases, and she did, and she had it on her person, and so she let me take a look at it. Because after scouring the website for hours, I was so, and watching people's reviews on YouTube, I was so sure this is what I wanted. But it was one of those things that I felt like I had to see in person and touch to really know for sure. And so Lexi let me have a play with hers, and after that I decided I definitely wanted it. What I didn't know was if I wanted it in the gray, which is the Crazy Horse Smoke, or Crazy Horse Navy, which is the blue I have. I don't know why when he asked I blurted out that I wanted it in the gray. I did want it in the gray, but I don't think I'd admitted to myself that I wanted it in the gray. I was pretty sure I'd wanted it in the blue, but here's my lovely Crazy Horse Gray, or Crazy Horse Smoke, 10-pen zipper case, including the lovely patch or piece of paper that says when it was made. So this was made July 25th of this year, and I purchased it, or was gifted it, on August 15th. I love that they've got a stamp that tells you who made it. I love that they explain that every leather dyes differently, because that is very true, and I'm about to show you just how true that is. I like that they include leather care stuff. It's such, like, it's everything that people need to know. So here's this lovely, lovely thing. So I push the box out of the way with its lovely Galen Leather stamp. I do love that these are stamped. It does make me wish the Travelers were stamped, but let's take a look at this. So this is the back. We've got the Galen Leather stamp. We have the pull tab that is in the same leather as the pouch. And then we've got the front. And this is what's important, because when I show you this, you will not believe that they are the same color of leather. This is the same color of leather. This is just after being conditioned and a month of use. I think this started darker anyways. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the original video where I unbox it, but I think even then, this Traveler's cover was darker than this. But it's a pretty dramatic difference, because I remember looking at this in Atlas and going, it seems really light compared to the color I thought I was getting, which is proof that all leather dyes differently, because here is my Traveler's cover, which is the same, it's the Crazy Horse Smoke. This is the Crazy Horse Smoke as well. They're just different dye lots, and because of that, one is very dark and one is very light. So I do really like this, but I'm also excited to see how it looks after some use and some conditioning and all that stuff, because I do condition my leather products. We live somewhere where it's really cold, and in the winter it's really dry, and so proper leather maintenance does include conditioning. So this will at some point get some conditioner on it. But let's open this up. It's got the double separated suede covers, which I think are great. In the Kaweco case, they flip this way. Also in the 20 pen, they flip this way. In the 10 pen though, they flip up. And I will safely say that I have already had 10 pens in this case. I just wanted to test. And I could fit 10 pretty good size pens in this case. I will say that I didn't put anything huge in the two end spots, just because they're a little bit shorter. But for the 6 middle spots, I put big pens in those spots, and it worked out totally fine. So I'm very excited to see how this wears in. It is a very pretty case, but that is also how it looks compared to my journal that I've been using for a bit over a month and has been conditioned. So I'm excited to see how it wears in. I'm excited to see how they look in part 2 of this video, because right now I'm about to go fill this with pens. I'm about to go put pens in the other sleeve, and we're about to start using them. So you will know how this ends. I don't know how this ends, so let's check back in. So here is your 1 month update on the Galen Leather. So I did decide to condition and cream coat it with clear Urad, purely because I did realize that the benefit of using a clear coat on it means that I can just wipe off dirt really easily. And I know from experience that Urad does make it really easy to wipe off dirt. So I did, after nearly spilling something on these, decide to just put a clear coat on them. They'll still patina, they'll still get scratches. Clearly, like the gray one still gets scratches, it still patinas quite nicely in the Traveler's Notebook. The difference is that if I get dirt on it, it just wipes off. So you can still see there's still a pretty significant color difference. This did darken up both with use and with conditioner. So the spines are pretty close, but overall it's still significantly lighter. I have been really enjoying it though. You can see that it's a bit warped. I have skinnier pens on this side and thicker pens on this side, and currently have 10 pens in here, which it holds very nicely. I have a selection of pens from Navaler and Conklin and Leonardo and Sailor and Kaweco, and the tiny little Launcher Pacino, and then a Pelican M205 in rose quartz. So thicker pens and then skinnier pens. I will say that I don't know if I could fit, I couldn't do thick pens on both sides, I don't think. But it does work really well with putting thick pens on one and skinnier stuff on the other, which is probably what I'm going to do for the Pelican Hub, which is just a few days away at this point. So I'm going to sort of ink some new stuff up. I'm going to unink some stuff so that it's all ready to go for that. But this is definitely coming with me, and I've really been loving it. I'm also quite happy with how it had patinaed naturally, and then it just got a little bit darker with conditioner. I didn't go nearly as dark as this cover did. I do really like this cover though, and I like that it'll continue to get scratched and sort of wear in. I do like that about leather. And then we have the slip and zip, which I adore. It does fit perfectly in the bottom of my purse. For those wondering, though, I am not currently using that purse because it's fall and I'm currently using a bright red handbag. So the slip and zip does fit perfectly in my black purse. And I really like how it came out with conditioner. I decided that I was doing one, I could do the other. It seems to patina more than the gray does. And also its light sections are a lot lighter, so it got bent. And you can see how light those sections have come out. It's just a super fun case. I really like it. I also really like these cards, so I might have to see if Wonder Pen stocks just these cards. I do know that they stock Galen Leather on occasion, so I'm very happy with them. And I'm very happy with the color palette that I have sort of started to collect. I have decided I'm limiting myself to 3 colors of leather, so I've got the brown from Travelers and I've got these two, and I'm gonna have to see what the closest brown to Travelers they make is from Galen, and those will be my only leather colors, because honestly 3 seems like a lot, but they look really good together. So greatly been enjoying them. I've also really been enjoying the ruler because somehow we're already in Christmas card season, and so the ruler has come out a whole bunch with making cards, and it has been super practical just to have a ruler that stays put when you put it on a page, but the numbers also don't rub off. It's been great. I've been adoring it, and you've probably seen it over on Instagram because it has made an appearance on my story a few times. I will say that all of my Galen stuff has been making appearances on stories because this video did take a while to pull together. So I appreciate the fact that they were all right with the fact that it took about a month and a half for me to pull together, because I did want to show what they look like when they were wearing in, and I do really like them. This has definitely been where I've been keeping my pens that I'm using in the moment, but I suspect like as we get into the winter more, this will get more use. And I also think this gets more use when I'm out and about running errands, just because it does fit perfectly in my handbag. This is slightly too big for my purse, whereas this is just the right size. So I suspect my next Galen Leather purchase will be a slip and zip in Crazy Horse Smoke. And then maybe, I don't know, I saw Desert Inkwell had a 40 pen case from them. And I do need something for pen storage, so who knows, maybe one of those is in my future, but for now, I'm very happy with these. And I am going to put away pens in this because I am about to leave for the weekend, so I need to stick some pens in my purse and then we can get going. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know what you use on your leather. I am a creature of habit, so what I use on my boots is what I use on my purses and what I use on sort of all my leather goods, and it seems to work fairly well, but I'd love to know what you guys use. Do you use anything on your leather? I was always taught every 6 weeks if you're wearing your boots, and then once every other season, so twice a year for handbags. So once in the spring and once in the fall, but I know some people that like never condition their leather and it still looks fine. So I always find it interesting to see what other people do. I believe Galen recommends once a year. I'll probably stick to what I do with my handbags, which is what I use for my traveler's notebook, which is spring and fall. So twice a year. It seems to work fairly well. So we'll see. Thanks for watching though, and I hope you enjoyed.